Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. My name is Nick.
I'm Ian.
And this week we're going to talk about something that I know I've been a big fan of. I know you have been too,
Of course,
also.
yeah.
Today we're going to talk about some of our favorite movies about music. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you click on the link down below and go check out the Vinyl Den Facebook group. You know, I know we say it every week, but it's just a growing community of just a cool place to hang out and continue the music conversation. There's also a couple other links down below. There's one for the Vinyl Den merch page. If you want one of these cool shirts, there's also sweatshirts on there. There's also a link down there for the Vinyl Den Patreon page if you want to support the show. It's always greatly appreciated. If you enjoy the episode, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we release new episodes. So music movies, or movies that are about music, it kind of combines two things that I think we both enjoyed for a very long time.
I still do.
What, movies?
Yeah.
I still enjoy movies. I just don't have a lot of time to watch them. So we each have three kind of our favorite movies about music. And like I said before we started recording, it doesn't necessarily have to be about a specific person. It doesn't have to be a biopic or anything like that.
I thought it did initially.
Just any kind of movie that just is about music. So the first one I have is one that I don't have a prop for. I don't have even though I wish I had the soundtrack for it.
It's hard to find, isn't it?
I've seen it a couple of times, but I've never grabbed it. I really should. But it's a movie that I've loved for a very long time, and that's High Fidelity. I almost wanted to say High Infidelity because that's a REO Speedwagon album. But High Fidelity is a great album, a great movie, and it obviously with John Cusack. Who else was in that?
Jack Black, Lisa Bonet.
Yeah.
I can't remember who.
And
played.
Lisa Bonet's daughter actually played in the TV. Was it Netflix spinoff of it?
I think it was Hulu, actually.
It was on one of the streaming services. I actually really enjoyed the reboot.
It only got one season.
Yeah, so was it only one? Yeah. It definitely should have got more. I really enjoyed the way that they kind of redid the story and where it was going. But it's a movie about some people that working in a record store. So of course I'm gonna like it.
Spend enough time in them.
Yeah.
So my first one, because initially I thought we were talking about like biopics about musicians and stuff like that. My first one is La Bamba. I kept it on my list when I found out I could expand a little bit.
It's a great movie.
But because it's a fantastic movie. Lou Diamond Phillips plays Richie Valens. It's just a great... I think it was the very first like drama I actually watched as a child and enjoyed.
Yeah, what movie? What year that came out?
85,
like 80, was it that early?
Yeah, it was 85. 85 or 86. It might have been 86, but it was...
It was like the mid-ish 80s.
Yeah,
I remember
but I was like
year.
7, 8, or 9 in that range. You know, kids like that. Kids didn't like dramas. I mean, most kids don't. But that was like the first drama that really...
La Bamba was the one, like my kind of like entry into that kind of era of music, because
absolutely.
I was pretty young at that point. I was under 10 years old. So if it was like 85, 86, I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Right.
So that was kind of like my entry into, Richie Valens, the Big Bopper,
Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly.
And some of those songs I'd heard on the radio, but, it wasn't like...
It's a different connection once you kind of
Absolutely,
understand
yeah.
the story behind some of it, though. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a good pick. My next one is one that is probably not the most popular movie. It's probably not one that a lot of people have seen. It's called Backbeat. It's a movie that's from the early 90s, right?
Yeah.
When they came out. You're the movie guy, so that's why I kind of lean on you for years. But
It was early 90s, like 94, I think.
I think it was even before then. It was definitely early 90s. But anyway, it's the story of the Beatles.
Their days in Germany.
Yeah, exactly. They're like very early period in the formation of the band, and it just I think Stuart Sutcliffe is still in the band at that
Pete
point.
Best.
Yeah. So
It pretty much leads up to the Beatles coming back to the UK without Stuart Sutcliffe because he passed away, and then having fired Pete Best. That's kind of where it ends.
It ends.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. If you don't know the history of the Beatles, I'm not a huge Beatles fan. I mean, I am a fan of their music, but it's just I've always loved that movie since the first time I saw it. And if you haven't seen it and you are a Beatles fan, it's definitely a great one to check out. Actually, we were at the record store earlier today, and they had a little poster of it behind the counter. So
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I didn't think a lot of people even knew that movie existed. I've been looking for it to buy for a long time, but it's not an easy one to track down.
No, it isn't. Okay, my next one is I would say it's a cult classic because it's probably not like ultra popular. It's Empire Records. I worked at a video store, and me and one of the girls who worked there, this was like our go-to because there was a limited amount of movies we could really put on that we enjoyed watching because we had to keep it, family friendly.
Family friendly, just like the Vinyl Den.
Yes.
I have to keep Ian family friendly.
Yes, you do. But I grew to really appreciate the movie. I'd seen it when it first came out, obviously, and enjoyed it. But I don't know. For some reason, I was able to appreciate it more as an adult, weirdly.
I guess maybe you kind of get a little bit more of it, maybe, because it came out mid-'90s.
Or it was more like the nostalgia of it.
Maybe. That's possible.
But yeah, I'd put it in my top 20 of comedies. Even though it's more of a dramedy.
It is a good movie. It's one that I've enjoyed. It's got the soundtrack in the movie is a lot better than the soundtrack, the physical soundtrack,
right.
because the physical soundtrack is not the soundtrack from the movie.
Right.
So my last one is the only one off of my list that I actually own a physical copy of the. Actually, I own the movie, and I own the soundtrack, and that's the fourth version of A Star Is Born. I'm not a huge Lady Gaga fan, but this is an absolutely fantastic movie. And it's probably one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. At least top 10 movies of the last probably 20, 25 years for sure. I think they did a great job with it. The soundtrack is fantastic. It's got great packaging. It's one I've listened to this quite often. And I bought the movie just because I love it so much.
I can't comment. I haven't seen it.
Ian has not seen it. I'm going to force Ian to watch it at some point, though.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
So for my last one, I went with this one. I don't think is going to get any argument from anybody.
No, not for me.
Almost Famous.
Ian likes to hold it in front of the... Ian likes to talk with it in front of his face. So I'm going to hold it while he talks.
Vanna White here will hold the object. I mean, what can I say about this movie that is, I'm sure everyone or almost everyone in the Facebook group, on the channel, they're all going to agree.
It's a movie that I probably watch at least once a year.
Me too.
I love this movie.
I have the extended director's cut on Blu-ray. It's the only way to watch it for me. Yeah. It's like almost 3 hours long.
Yeah.
So, and again, once a year I have to watch it.
Yeah, it's just it's a great movie, great soundtrack. It's definitely one of my favorite movies for sure.
And apparently there's a deluxe edition coming
out.
The
big box set's coming out. I think within the next couple of weeks. I think later, the end of the month.
Right. So that's...
I will talk about it in a Tuesday episode of the Vinyl Den.
There you go.
Well, that's all we got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. Drop us a comment down below. Let us know what you guys think about these movies and what your favorite music movies are.
There's a lot of them out there.
There is a ton of them. There was at least easy 6 or 7 that came right off the top of my head that I could have talked about. Those are kind of my 3, and Ian's 3 we went over. Hopefully we didn't go over them too fast. If you haven't seen any of them, make sure you definitely check them out.
Absolutely.
All 6 of them are fantastic movies. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that notification bell. Like I said, leave us a comment. That's about it, right?
Yeah.
Until next time.
Talk to y'all later.
Keep on spinning. Peace.